नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आप सभी का एक बार फिर से मेरे इस YouTube चैनल पर। और आज जो मैं वीडियो लेकर आया हूँ दैट इज अबाउट द चैप्टर नंबर 4 ऑफ टूरिज्म एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मैनेजमेंट बेस्ड ऑन द न्यू सिलेबस ऑफ UGC नेट एंड JRF। दोस्तों, जैसा कि मैंने पहले बताया था दैट आई एम मेकिंग ए कंप्लीट सीरीज, वीडियो सीरीज ऑफ ऑल द चैप्टर्स ऑफ टूरिज्म मैनेजमेंट एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, एंड दिस सीरीज स्पेशली फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स अपीयरिंग इन नेट एंड JRF एग्जाम्स। सो जो भी स्टूडेंट्स नेट एंड JRF की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं एंड दे हैव टेकन tourism administration as their paper 2 subject, so these videos are for you guys. Please watch these carefully, make your notes and prepare, and I'm sure these videos are going to be very helpful for you guys to crack the exam. Before starting the video, I want to request you all to like my video and subscribe the channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications instantly. So let's start the video of chapter number 4 without wasting any time, guys. तो सबसे पहले हम नजर डाल लेते हैं आज के टॉपिक्स पर जिनके बारे में हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। पहला टॉपिक है इंपोर्टेंस ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम। ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम का क्या इंपोर्टेंस है टूरिज्म में, रोल ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इन टूरिज्म, उसका क्या रोल है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम का टूरिज्म के अंदर क्या रोल है, मेजर ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम्स जैसे कि रेल, रोड, एयर एंड वाटर ट्रांसपोर्ट। देन वी हैव मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इन इंडिया, पास्ट एंड प्रेजेंट, पहले क्या मोड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होते थे एंड अभी क्या है। Then air career systems. Then next we have railway system of world के जो भी रेलवे सिस्टम है, वर्ल्ड वाइड रेलवे सिस्टम्स क्या क्या चलते हैं, about that. And we will study about Indian Railways, types of tours available in Indian Rail, Palace on Wheels, Royal Orient, Fair Queen and Toy Train जैसी ट्रेनों के बारे में हम पढ़ने वाले हैं। And last topic is water transport system. So हमारे पास क्रूज हैं, फेरीज हैं, रिवर कैनाल बोट्स हैं, इन चीज़ों के बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे। So these are the topics of today, guys. So let's start with our first point, importance of transportation system without wasting time. So there are major 4 points I have given as an importance of transportation system in tourism. First is tourism needs movement. So tourism क्या है? Tourism is all about traveling, and traveling needs transportation. So any tourism needs transportation, whether it is domestic, international, inbound, any type of tourism, business, leisure, anything, everything needs transportation. So it plays a vital role. Second point is transportation. Transport is a major product of tourism industry. Of course it is. Transport can survive without tourism, but tourism cannot survive without transportation, because transportation is one of the major part of the tourism industry. Anything, if I want to travel to Goa, let's say I stay in Delhi and I want to travel to Goa, what I need transportation, whether it is rail or road transport or air transport or whatever it is, it needs transport. So tourism industry, to fulfill the needs of the customer, needs transport. Third is connection with other components of tourism. So components of tourism are connected with each other, and transport is the one which is connected. Like let's say for an example, I'll give you an example. Like a person travels to Paris, he stays in a resort and he needs sightseeing. So for the sightseeing also, what he needs transportation, a car which can take him for the sightseeing. He needs transportation from his hub. Let's say he lives in India, and to reach to France he needs air transport. So for every place he needs transportation, and transportation is connected whether it is sightseeing or what other components. So all the components of tourism are connected with each other. Fourth is quality of transport and travel business. So आजकल travel का क्या है, travel industry is booming now. So people need a quality of transport, a good quality, a premium quality. So transportation helps to fulfill that need actually. So let's say a person, earlier what used to happen, I mean people used to travel to on long distances by the train. It used to take 2 to 3 days, and that was really uncomfortable. People are still traveling, although to save the money or for any, if there's no air transport available on that route, or maybe they have a money problem, they might travel by road or by train still. But now people are more keen for the premium travel, like quality of travel, which should not be tiring, which should be hygienic. And so let's say a person is traveling from Delhi to Goa, so it will not take more than 3 hours for a flight from Delhi to Goa, so which give a convenient to the client and satisfaction also. So quality of transport in travel business is really crucial. So here are the importance of transportation system in tourism. Moving on to our next point, which is role of transportation system in tourism. So transport, as I said, transport plays a vital role in tourism industry, because tourism cannot survive without the transportation. That is the key point. That is a basic thing everybody needs. So as I mentioned, that transport system forms a vital link between tourist and destination in the tourism. Transportation and travel can be discussed without taking tourism into consideration, but tourism cannot be thrive without travel. So that's what I said. It cannot survive. Tourism cannot survive without transportation. Transportation is an integral part of the tourism industry. It is largely due to the improvement of the transportation that tourism has expanded. Transportation in tourism is most often seen as just part of the tourism system, which is in charge of bringing the tourist to destination, a means of getting around the place and leaving it once the duration of the trip is over. Means transportation starts when a person's journey starts. Transportation picks a person from his place and take him to the destination he wants to travel to and bring him back to his own hub, in his own home. And the transportation plays a role where it comes to taking that person around the destination and the tourist place. So this is all about the role of transportation in tourism industry. Moving on to the next point, which is major transport systems. There are 4 major transport systems worldwide. One is road transport, which is well connected within the countries and across the countries also. And then rail transport, which is everywhere in the world. And then air transport, which is very basic these days. A lot of people, prefer to travel by the air within country or outside the countries, of course. And then water transports. So these are the 4 major transport systems worldwide, within India also and in worldwide also. Our next point is transportation in India. So transportation network of India is like one of the biggest, among the biggest, I should say. So the first point says India's road network is the second largest and one of the busiest in the world. See how busy is India's road network is. And then we talk about rail network. India's rail network is the 4th largest and the second busiest in the world. And when we talk about aviation, it is divided into 2 parts. With one is military and the civil aviation. Civil aviation is our aviation, which is like the our air thing. The people who for the tourism, who travel for the tourism purpose, it is business or leisure or whatever it is, that comes under the civil aviation. And civil aviation is the fastest growing aviation market in the world. And India's waterway network in the form of rivers, canals, backwaters and creeks is the 9th largest waterway network in the world. So India uses almost every way of the transportation, and it is one of the busiest, of course. Our next point talks about the transportation in India in past. So how it used to work in past. So I have given you in ascending order walkings. पहले लोग travel करते थे. They used to walk wherever they need to go. They used to walk because they had nothing to travel. उनके पास कोई सुविधाएं नहीं थी. They had no transportation systems. आज की तरह कुछ भी नहीं था. लोग पैदल ही travel करते थे, मीलों तक जाते थे. उसके बाद पालकिन्स. सो पालकिन्स आर दोज, जैसे आपने शायद मूवीज में देखा होगा कि जब शादी के बाद लड़की डोली में जाती है तो वो पीपल पिक एंड वो डोली उठती है उस तरीके से. वो पालकी, उन्हें पालकी कहते हैं. इंडिया में उन्हें पालकी कहते हैं. दोज आर पालकिन्स बेसिकली. थर्ड इज ब्लॉक कार्ट्स एंड हॉर्स कैरेज. सो भी बैलगाड़ी वगैरह जो भी होती थी उसके बाद वो आनी शुरू हुई. एंड देन वी गॉट बाइसिकल्स and then human pulled rickshaws. So I think human pulled rickshaw are there in West Bengal still, or maybe it's there no more because people are having their own vehicles these days. There are rickshaws available, but there used to be human pulled rickshaws earlier. And cycle rickshaw, which are like very common these days everywhere in the city in India. Those are still there. So these are the transportation system. In past, how it started. Now, so we have cars, and we have train, we have air, we have water transport, everything we have. So earlier, only these were the basic transportation systems we had. Moving on to our next point, which is air carrier terms. So air carrier terms में काफी सारी चीजें हैं जो आपको समझने की जरूरत है. One is scheduled and non-scheduled airline services. सो शेड्यूल्ड एयरलाइन कौन सी होती है? जो अपनी नॉर्मल एयरलाइंस है, विच आर अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन. आप कोई भी फ्लाइट सर्च करते हैं, दिल्ली मुंबई, दिल्ली बैंगलोर चेन्नई, वॉट एवर फ्लाइट यू सर्च, सो दैट हैज अ स्पेसिफिक शेड्यूल कि ये फ्लाइट नंबर है, इतने बजे चलेगी, इतने बजे पहुंचेगी, इस डेट को है. सो दैट इज अ शेड्यूल्ड एयरलाइन. नॉन शेड्यूल्ड एयरलाइंस आर चार्टर फ्लाइट्स विच हैज नो प्लान्स, विच हैज नो शेड्यूल्स. बस वो एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट उड़ती हैं. मेरी रिक्वायरमेंट है, आई नीड अ चार्टर प्लेन टू गो टू जयपुर विद माई फैमिली, सो आई विल हायर a charter plane and I will go there. So although non-scheduled airline also inform everything to the authorities and they take permissions, but those are non-scheduled airlines. They had no schedule. It's pre-scheduled airlines. Easy है, schedules are which are scheduled and non-scheduled are the charter ones which are not scheduled. Next point is no-frill airlines. No-frill airlines are also known as low-cost airlines. So low-cost airlines कौन सी होती हैं? एक होती हैं full-fledged airlines, एक होती हैं low-cost airlines, no-frills airlines as we say. So full-fledged airlines are those which provides all the services to the clients. Like flying के साथ साथ आपको वहाँ पे meals भी मिलती हैं, music, entertainment, सारी facilities आपको on board मिलती हैं. Whereas low cost airline क्या करते हैं, वो आपका अपना फेयर कम करने के लिए दे रिड्यूस सम सर्विसेज. लेट्स से वो आपको ऑन बोर्ड मील नहीं देंगे, आपके जो म्यूजिक और एंटरटेनमेंट की फैसिलिटीज हैं वो कम कर देंगे. सो उनका बेसिक वो छोड़ते हैं विच इज योर टिकट थिंग, टेकिंग यू फ्रॉम द हब एंड ब्रिंगिंग यू to the destination. So that is the main focus of those. To cut down the cost, they reduce services, onboard services. So those are called as low cost airlines or no frill airlines. Third is open sky policy. Open sky policy is a policy between two countries, between two regions to bring people and let's say I'll give you an example. So there's a policy between US and Europe that they have an open sky policy, which means कि उनको यूरोप से यूएस कितनी भी फ्लाइटें जा सकती हैं एंड दे कैन टेक एन नंबर ऑफ पीपल, मतलब एनी नंबर ऑफ पीपल दे कैन टेक टू यूएस ऑन द डेली बेसिस एंड वाइस वर्सा. यूएस कैन take people in their airlines to Europe. So that's the open sky policy, which is like unlimited number of airlines and unlimited number of people can be go to and fro. Although there is a limit always in the policy, there is always a limit, but in the definition we read it like there is no limit as such. So moving on to the next point, GDS in air transportation. So what is GDS? Global Distribution System. Global Distribution System plays a vital role in air transportation because air transportation को जो भी टिकटें सेल होती हैं वो सारी GDS के थ्रू होती हैं. What are the GDS? इनके ऑनलाइन सॉफ्टवेयर्स होते हैं. Like people who are from the travel industry, they might know that Galileo, Amadeus, Sabre, these are the softwares which used to book tickets in all the travel companies. सारी एयरलाइन जो है वो अपनी इन्वेंट्री, अपने फेयर्स, अपना डेटा सभी GDS के थ्रू ही एजेंट्स को शेयर करते हैं, कस्टमर्स को शेयर करते हैं, and all the tickets booked through the GDS only. So whatever is the current scenario, how many seats are left, what are the fare of the seats, every facility, every information is available on GDS of the air transportation. So GDS plays a vital role in airport transportation. Next is function of ITA, ICAO, DGCA, AI. So I hope you have seen my chapter number 1 video where I explained in detail what is ITA, what are its roles, when was it established, इसका क्या काम है, everything I mentioned in detail. So if you have not watched that, I am giving you the link in I section. Please click on the link and watch that video. Moving on to the next point, types of air journeys. Air journeys are like one way, return and circle try journeys. So one way is a one way trip. एक जगह से शुरू हुआ दूसरी जगह पे खत्म, that is one way. दिल्ली मुंबई किसी की फ्लाइट है, दिल्ली स्टार्ट हुआ मुंबई खत्म, that is one way journey. Then we have return trip. Return trip जहाँ से शुरू होता है वहीं खत्म होता है. Where it start, it has to end at the same place. I mean Delhi, Mumbai, Delhi. It is a return trip. अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि मेरे पास मुंबई की रिटर्न टिकट, I stay in Delhi and I tell someone that I have a return ticket of Mumbai. So which means मेरे पास दिल्ली मुंबई दिल्ली की टिकट है, आने जाने की टिकट है. Return trip is those. And then we have a circle try journey. Circle try journey also has a starting point and end point is the same. Like अगर मैं दिल्ली में हूँ तो मेरी जर्नी शुरू भी यहीं से होगी, खत्म भी यहीं पर होगी. But there are 2 stops in between. So which makes it triangle. Let's say Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai and Delhi. So मेरा starting point दिल्ली है. I am going to Bangalore first, and from Bangalore I am taking another flight to Mumbai, and from Mumbai I am taking another flight to Delhi. So my journey ends at Delhi, started journey, but there are 2 cities involved in between. So that's a circle try journey. Last is MPM and TPM. So MPM is a mileage thing. What is mileage? Do you understand mileage? MPM stands for maximum permitted mileage. Mileage is a distance, basically distance of airfare. When a flight fly from one place to another, so the distance how they measure it, that's in mile. They measure it in mileage. So maximum permitted mileage, it represent the maximum distance between 2 specified international points. Let's say कोई फ्लाइट जाती है दिल्ली से मुंबई, so उनका जो maximum mileage है, मतलब maximum distance है, MPM represent that. So but they have condition that should be a non-stop flight. मतलब फ्लाइट अगर दिल्ली से मुंबई जा रही है तो दैट शुड नॉट हैव अ स्टॉप ओवर एनीवेयर, इट शुड बी अ डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट. सो डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट विच गोज फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू मुंबई, दैट डिस्टेंस, द माइलेज, द मैक्सिमम परमिटेड माइलेज रिप्रेजेंट दैट. सेकंड इज TPM, विच इज टिकटेड पॉइंट माइलेज. जो आपके पास एक टिकट है, मेरे पास एक टिकट है ट्राई जर्नी वाली, जैसा एक पिछले पॉइंट मैंने बताया था, सर्कल ट्राई जर्नी वाली मेरे पास टिकट है, वेयर आई स्टार्ट माई जर्नी फ्रॉम दिल्ली, आई गो टू बैंगलोर एंड देन इट गोज टू मुंबई एंड देन आई कम बैक टू दिल्ली बैक। सो इसमें टिकट वाला जो जर्नी है, मतलब मेरा टिकट में मैं कितना फ्लाई कर रहा हूँ उसको, वो माइलेज उसके अकॉर्डिंग इसमें माइलेज काउंट होगी। इट कैन बी अ नॉन स्टॉप फ्लाइट और इट कैन बी अ स्टॉप ओवर फ्लाइट ऑल्सो। लेट्स से अगर मैं मुंबई जा रहा हूँ वाया बैंगलोर, तो दिल्ली बैंगलोर, बैंगलोर मुंबई, ऐसे वो माइलेज काउंट होगा। अगर मैं डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट से जा रहा हूँ दिल्ली मुंबई, सो वो डायरेक्ट वाले से काउंट होगा। सो बेसिकली डिस्टेंस वो काउंट होता है, माइलेज काउंट होता है अकॉर्डिंग टू द टिकट। सो फर्स्ट इज माइलेज परमिटेड, मैक्सिमम परमिटेड माइलेज, एंड सेकंड इज टिकटेड पॉइंट। सो पहला जो फ्लाइट के अकॉर्डिंग है, जो फ्लाइट 1.2 एयरपोर्ट्स के जो पॉइंट है उसके अकॉर्डिंग वो काउंट होता है। सेकंड इज टिकट के अकॉर्डिंग काउंट होता है, टीपीएम में टिकट के अकॉर्डिंग काउंट होता है। So I hope you're getting it, guys. This is very easy. Moving further to our next point, which is railway system of the world. So world के जो भी रेलवे सिस्टम है उनके बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। ब्रिटिश रेल, जैसा कि नाम ही बता रहा है कि ब्रिटिश रेल। So ब्रिटिश रेल विच द ट्रेन सिस्टम अवेलेबल इन ब्रिटिश इन यूके में जो भी ट्रेन सिस्टम है, जितनी भी रेलवे सिस्टम है जो भी, दैट इज ब्रिटिश रेल। Second is Eurorail. Eurorail is a system of railway system of Europe. So entire Europe there's a railway system. There are different railway companies. They have a tie-up and that goes across the Europe. So Eurorail, हम जो भी यूरोप में ट्रेन चलती हैं उन्हें Eurorail कहते हैं। Third is Amtrak. Amtrak is the railway system of US and some part of Canada also. So US का जो भी रेलवे सिस्टम है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एमट्रैक। तो अगर मुझे यूएस में मैं कोई टिकट बुक करनी है फ्रॉम न्यूयॉर्क टू लेट्स से वाशिंगटन, सो वो कहाँ से, वो उसका जो रेलवे सिस्टम है दैट्स कॉल्ड एमट्रैक। सो मैं एमट्रैक की वेबसाइट पे जाऊँगा, मैं वहाँ से बुकिंग करूँगा। सो एमट्रैक इज समथिंग विच आई विल पुट ऑन द गूगल कि भाई मुझे एमट्रैक का सिस्टम जानना है, एमट्रैक की रूटिंग जाननी है। सो दैट इज एमट्रैक। Then Orient Express. Orient Express is not operational these days. It is ancient railway system. It started long time back, and the routing was started from Paris, and it used to go to Istanbul initially. Then इसका journey घटा के then it was from Paris to Bucharest. Then it was reduced further to Budapest. Then it was always Paris from starting, and then the other way journey was reduced. So it started with Istanbul, then Bucharest, then Budapest, and last it was ran to Vienna, which is in Italy. So Paris to Vienna was its last journey before it stopped, and it was seized in 2009 December. So Oriental Express is not operational anymore. Last is Trans-Siberian Railway. This is a railway system of Russia. So easy guys, British Rail is for the UK, British railway system, Euro is for Europe, Amtrak is for US, Orient Express is between Paris and Istanbul, and that it used to be there in ancient time, and Trans-Siberian is for Russia. So next point talks about Indian Railways. Indian Railways, हमारे पास Indian Railway, everybody knows that Indian Railway has a broad network which कहीं भी एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे जाना है, you have train schedules available. Apart from the normal railway systems, what else we have in tourism? So we have Palace on Wheels, Royal Orient, Fairy Queen, and toy trains. So first we talk about Palace on Wheels. So Palace on Wheels is one of the oldest premium luxury travel train in India. It started with the joint venture of Rajasthan Tourism and Indian Railways. So it provides generally, इसका जो आइटनरी है वो 7-8 दिन का आइटनरी प्रोवाइड करते हैं। They give a luxury travel to the people, 5-star जैसा accommodation है इनका। They have multi-cuisine restaurants, and they most of the foreigner travel, foreigners takes these trains to understand the culture of the India and Rajasthan. So this train Palace of Wheels start from Delhi, and it goes to Jaipur, and then Madhopur, and then Chittorgarh, Udaipur, Jaisalmer, Jodhpur, Bharatpur, and then other way around to Agra, and then it ends at New Delhi. So it has around 8 days itinerary, and this is a luxury train, the first luxury train of India. Second is Royal Orient. So Royal Orient was started on the same theme the Palace on Wheel started. It also has a similar 5-star accommodation, multi-cuisine restaurants, and all the facilities to the travelers, 5-star facilities. But it has a different routing. So routing is it was the joint venture of Gujarat Tourism and Indian Railways. So इसका जो itinerary होता है that start from Delhi and then goes to Chittorgarh, Udaipur, Junagadh, Araval, Somnath, Sasangir National Park, then Ahmedabad, Madhvi, Pitana, and it come back to Jaipur, and then so basically most part of the Gujarat, some part of Rajasthan, and then Delhi. So this is its routing. Next is Fairy Queen. So Fairy Queen is it has stopped, or it sometime goes from Delhi to Alwar these days. That's it. Just a 1 or 2 days journey it has. When started, it has a similar itinerary which like Palace on Wheels, and it was also a luxury train. Lately it was stopped, but this train was famous because of its oldest steam locomotive thing. It was in 1998. It was listed in the Guinness Book of Records as a world's oldest steam locomotive in regular service. So this train was very famous. Nowadays it starts from Delhi and it goes till Alwar only, and it gives 5-star accommodation, and then some national park access with hotel accommodation in Alwar and nearby places. Just a 2 days itinerary it has nowadays. The next point is toy trains. So toy trains, I think most of the people know what toy trains are. Toy trains are basically smaller trains which are used as tourist trains for a shorter journey for a specific schedule or for a specific place. There are 5 places where toy train runs in India. First is in Himachal, Kalka to Shimla. So Kalka to Shimla is a shorter journey, and it has a breathtaking views and the ways of mountains under the over the bridges. It takes you to Shimla. So people used to, it's a shorter journey. People takes this train to enjoy the view around. Second is in Kangra Valley Railway. This is also in Himachal, and this train runs between Pathankot to Jogindarnagar in Himachal Pradesh. Third is Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, which is in West Bengal, and this train runs start from New Jalpaiguri, which is NJP, the code of the railway station, and this train takes you to Darjeeling. So this is again a shorter journey, and very very fantastic, beautiful views of during the ride. You will see this these are small trains, shorter journeys, like beautiful views during the travel. Next is Nilgiri Mountain Railway, which is in Tamil Nadu. So this train starts from Mettupalayam and it takes you to Ooty. So this train runs between Mettupalayam and Ooty. And last is Matheran Hill Railway. This is in Maharashtra, and this train runs between Narayal and Matheran. So this goes through over the bridges and Western Ghats, and also all the toy trains are basically when started as a tourist trains, smaller trains. When you travel in these trains, you get a beautiful view around, picturesque views, and if you talk about Himachal and all, you have mountains to see, snow to see, over bridges and all. When you travel over the mountain, that's a different experience altogether, I would say. Next point is water transport system. So water transport में अपना जो main आते हैं cruise ships हैं, ferries हैं, and river canal boats हैं. तो cruise ships, as you know, आजकल बहुत famous हैं cruise ships. Lot of people travel in India. I think there are ships start from Mumbai and go to, I think, Maldives and then Lakshadweep and all those places. The cruise ships are basically a full-fledged ships which takes people in. They have a proper accommodation. They have multiple restaurants. They have water parks inside the ship. They have restaurants inside the ship. They have accommodation. They have other creativity, other entertainment activities inside the ship. They have huge ships. They have a capacity of maybe 200 people, 250 people in one go, and those also have a fixed itinerary. Let's say a lot of cruise ships start from Singapore, and it takes you to Malaysia and other parts also. And then we have ships in European parts also start from Italy, and it takes you to US and other part of Europe. So cruise ships are like full-fledged ships which has all the facilities inside the ships. So these ships somewhere may or may not dock. They dock at place. Maybe you get an opportunity to get down and you get around the place and come back, or maybe you just do sailing and enjoy the activities available inside the ships. Second, when we talk about ferries are like small boats, not very small, but those are used as a transportation system between two places. In India, if I give you an example, ferries used in Andaman from Port Blair to Havelock when you travel. So they are ferries. They are scheduled ferries, limited capacity, like ferries has a capacity of around 200 people they can take, and there are different ferries which runs on different speeds and all. So people who have traveled through this place, they might know what ferries are all about. They have a basic facility of sitting, they might have classes कि उसमें standard class भी हो सकता है, premium class भी हो सकता है. You might get some snacks and all to have inside the boat, but those are used as a transportation system only. Third are river canal boats. So river canal boats का अगर मैं example India में आपको दूँ तो those are like backwater in Kerala. In Kerala, if you have been there in Alleppey and Kumarakom, there are places of backwaters and there are houseboats are there. So in those houseboats, you travel. You don't travel in those houseboats. You stay. That is for the accommodation purpose. You get meals and everything inside inside those boats. So those boats floats over the water, and those doesn't go anywhere. Those just floats around that area, and that come back to the bank, and then you get down. Maybe there can be an accommodation for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days as per the requirement of the customer. But those are like for the tourism purpose. So this is all from chapter number 4, guys. This is the end of the chapter. I hope you have understood all the points which I have explained. If you have not got it, if you are not understand anywhere, please feel free to write back to me in the comment section. I would love to reply to you guys. Thank you once again for watching the video. Please do not forget to like the video and subscribe the channel, guys.